Hey, what's going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with another episode of the SITREP. And my guest tonight is MEMO224. MEMO, how are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing real good. We were just discussing. Both of us just finished doing some yard work before we decided to hop on here and talk to you guys. So you are very lucky that smell-o-vision does not exist right now. Hot, sweaty, nasty, summertime. So, for everybody hopping in who's not familiar with the SITREP, how this works is I have my guest with me that I'm going to ask 10 questions. I have 5 questions for him as a Transformer collector. As you can tell, he's into these bots due to the background you see behind him. And then 5 questions for him as a YouTuber. So, Memo, if you're ready to rock, we'll get started.
Sure.
And welcome to everybody in the chat. If you ask any questions, or have any questions you want, save them until the end, till we're done. If you ask a question, you see me ignoring you, I've seen you, but wait till the end because it's me and his questions first. All right, Memo, question number 1. What's the appeal of Transformers for you?
The appeal for Transformers, really, it comes down to that childhood nostalgia. G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, Silverhawks, they all had an appeal to me. And I guess I just never really grew up, to be honest. Now that I have kids, it's given me a reason to get back into the stuff that I love so I can share it with them, to be honest.
See, my kid has no interest in these things. I have tried with the Transformers. I've tried with He-Man. Just doesn't work. He's all into Minecraft now, but that doesn't bother me. That's more stuff I can buy. So, and Pokemon cards, he's into that now.
It's all in how you brainwash them.
Really I have tried hard. And isn't it so cool that all the stuff that we liked back then is still on the toy shelves, just updated?
It's amazing, just like the way it's exploded. All of the He-Man, Transformers, everything just being revitalized. Like even in Funko Pops of all things.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? It's I guess it's a great time to be an 80s toy collector.
Oh, the nerds, or what was it? The geeks show Inherit the Earth. And I just saw recently Silverhawks is making a comeback.
I actually I pre-ordered that first line, so
now we just need Mask and Brave Star. I'd like to see Cops make a comeback too, but
Cops would be cool.
All right. Well, number 2, sir. Aside from G1, which is always the number 1 answer, what's your favorite Transformers fiction?
Definitely not Bayverse, that's for sure.
I haven't had anybody say that yet.
I'd have to say, since I've recently gotten into it, Beast Wars. I've watched the first season when I've had time. I'm starting season 2 soon, so I really, really enjoying it. I didn't get into it in the 90s because I thought the animation looked bad. But I guess as I've grown older, I've learned it's something I can appreciate. So it's really a line that I'm getting into.
You don't pay attention as much to the animation, though. It gets better, but it's the storytelling, especially about halfway through season 1 is really when it picks up, and season 2 is the best.
The story is great. It really is.
And it's so cool about that is when they created that show, the writers they knew about G1, but they weren't familiar with it. And what kicked off the whole thing was in the very first episode of Beast Wars, Optimus Primal talks about the Great War. And that's just wrote into the story because, every alien faction has a great war. And it was the internet in its infancy took over the fact that, hey, the Great War they're talking about is Autobots versus Decepticons, which it wasn't. But with the internet, and then they started researching G1, and if you recall the very second episode, right after I think it was a 2-part or 3-part intro, the next episode, standalone episode, starts off with Cheetor having that dream sequence where you see Starscream fly through with the Decepticon symbol on him.
Right.
So I always thought that was pretty cool.
That's
all right.
Great series.
Question number 3. Do you have a favorite figure or grail? This is a toy you will never let go of. You have to sell your whole collection. This one's not going anywhere.
I've actually got 2. You see right there, that's the Fan Toys Phoenix, their version of
Oh, Jetfire.
Yep. And then my second, also Fans Toys, is their version of Galvatron.
Oh, which one was that?
Well, I got them right here. Let me go. It's their Sovereign.
Oh, yeah. That one's nice.
He, amazing figure. Neither one of them I've transformed. I doubt I will. But the paint and everything. I mean, he weighs, I don't know how many pounds he weighs, but he's very, very heavy.
Is he all plastic or does he have some die cast in there?
He's got a lot of die cast.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I'm just now starting to dabble into some third party, and I'm really starting to find out they are so much better than Hasbro.
They're amazing. I didn't think I would like them until I got my first third party was Jazz by Make Toys, Downbeat.
Okay.
And I love that figure so much. I don't think I've bought another official figure since Jazz, to be honest.
What's the bot back there you have with the big X on his back?
Where?
On your top shelf, he's got a big X.
Oh, that's the nuclear version of.
I know the one you're talking about, the big nuclear blast with the big missile on his back.
Kato did a review of him. It's TFC Supreme Tactical Commander.
Hold on one second. Oh, wife's trying to get me to go downstairs with Dylan. Can't just yet. She is recovering from surgery.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she had knee surgery the other day, and surprisingly, she wasn't as bad off as I thought. She's got the next 2 weeks off. They just poked 2 little holes in the side of her knee and scraped it out. So, but she's kind of mobile, but she's starting to get sore, and it's horrible looking. It's all blue and nasty.
Coming from a guy who broke his kneecap, I know what she's going through.
Yeah, hers, I think it's kind of a genetic thing. So, but she's pulling through. She's a trooper. All right, number 4. What figure is your white whale, your most wanted toy? One that's announced you're waiting on, or something from the past that you'd really like to get hold of?
I think I'm waiting for a really good version of Starscream. I don't like the official version that's coming out. He doesn't look right to me. His wings are too small. I want something that has a really good cartoon aesthetic look to it. And it's just I'm still waiting on. It's the only reason I don't have any Seekers is because there's not really a set out there that I like. So
they've yet to do one that can really hide the nose cone.
Right.
It's always hanging off their back.
So I'm waiting for one that really strikes my fancy. I had a version of the official masterpiece, and I loved it so much that I gave it to my 8-year-old. So it pretty much doesn't exist anymore.
I had that one, but he didn't look like Starscream. He was like gray and blue. I think it was the very first one that came out.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling that. And then the only real official masterpiece I have, it's MP01 over there holding the American flag.
Yeah.
And then I've got the knockoff MP Megatron and the knockoff MP Beast Wars Megatron.
You can't beat some of those knockoffs. Toyhax Factory makes a really good Megatron and
I've got the
Soundwave.
one from Infinite Transformation.
Right.
And I paid like $100 for it opposed to $300 for the official. And it's great. I mean, they even fixed some of the issues other than his cannon speaks Japanese.
I've got my Toyhax Factory Megatron right there. I got him on sale for $50.
Wow. That's awesome. All right. Number 5. This is our last Transformer question. What's your favorite Transformer character? Any fiction, any media?
That's got to be Hound.
Hound.
Yeah, he was my very first G1 toy. And I actually had him before I'd seen any of the cartoons. I loved him before I even started watching it. And I have yet to see a toy version of him that I really enjoy. I have the official, and it's so disappointing just because of the bad materials and stuff like that. I can't even transform them.
Is that the one whose head is on the swivel?
Yeah, it's
Just
just
kind of
lays on that arm. Yeah, yeah. I've got him posed. He's right there, and I haven't touched him since I bought him. He's down on his knee in front of Prime.
I think the original G1 Hound was the last 84 bot that I got that completed my 84. Well, no, I still lack Wheeljack to complete my original 84 line. Man, I got a hell of a deal on him because the guy didn't know what he had.
Yeah.
And he gave me just a bag of parts. I don't even know if all these are in there. By God, every piece and part for Hound was that in there. I was just tickled to death. And he's such a he's little, but he's heavy. He's one of the ones that's mostly die cast. I mean, that's a great G1 figure.
Yeah, he was my favorite, and I lost him. I went to the movie with my dad, and my mom had a yard sale over gone, and she sold my Hound.
Oh. My biggest regret is I didn't sell. I traded all my G1 Transformers back in, when did I graduate? Long time ago. For a Super Nintendo system. You know, I didn't play with them anymore. They were all in a box. This guy's like, oh, like Transformers? Well, I'll trade you my Transformers at Super Nintendo. I regretted that like a month later.
I bet.
Okay, well, now let's get into some YouTube questions. Number 6, what possessed you, a grown-ass man, to do toy reviews on YouTube?
Well, I felt like something was missing, to be honest. I was recently divorced, and one day I found my old G1 Transformers CD or DVD. So I popped it in and started watching it, and then I came across a Sideswipe masterpiece review online done by Ben's Collectibles. And
thanks, Elites. I appreciate it.
That's where it started. My first masterpiece Transformer was Sideswipe. And then I came across this great community with Deluxe and Kato and everybody that we see every day. Mainly Deluxe is doing it, and I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too. There's always hope. So I was inspired by what everybody else is doing, so I figured I wanted to get on the train. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, I bought a camera, and then I put out my first review, which was Fans Toys.
And you don't stick to Transformers. You do a little bit of everything.
I do a little bit of everything. Transformers, Star Wars, some odds and ends. We got some Legends, and then my most recent was the McFarlane's Toys figures that they've got out. So
I haven't seen that one yet, but I did watch your one on Skelegod because I picked that one up because of you and Kate. I've got the Origins line, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get Revelations, but damn, that Skelegod looks good.
It does. I don't have the Origin line, so the Revelations the first line, and He-Man I'm going in on.
All right. Number 7. What keeps inspiring you to get in front of your camera?
I think it's just the reaction I get from the community. Just seeing all the comments that people say, being supportive, great job. I've gotten private messages, if I were, you can do this instead. People helping me improve what I'm doing every time I put out a video. And even just the community itself sharing my videos. So, for example, Larkin and Kato shared my Rhinox video, and next thing I know, that video is up over 9,000 views. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Wow.
And it's just the community as a whole wanting to help contribute, I think, is what drives me to keep going.
And that's what's great about this community is how much we all help each other. Of course, you and I are just getting to know each other. But when I first started, I didn't really know anybody out there. I was watching guys like Collector 75. I mean, all the old G1ers. And I just kind of I guess the first person I really fell into with was Bert the Stormtrooper. and he and I just clicked, and he helped me out by sharing my stuff, and he just got all kinds of people heading my way. So I get a big shout out to him every time I do one of these, because he's the one that got me started. And then I got to know Deluxe through Facebook, and he did that little around 30 minutes show with me. And I thought, well, that's fun. So I started doing that myself. And that's when I really got to know everybody. And now it's like a weekly thing I look forward to. If it's not one of these interview shows, it's getting together with some of the guys and just hanging out. And it's so much fun.
It is. It is. I had a lot of fun with doing the round 30 with Deluxe too, even though he rebooted his computer twice during the show.
I remember that was great. You're just sitting there like, okay, well, what we all talk about?
Yeah. Show must go on. Yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Oh, that's always a hoot. I need to get on there with him again, because I tried to do these, but my internet sucks so bad. I mean, I think my internet at first was a gerbil and a hamster wheel powering it, and now it's decent enough. And there's a lot of people I'd like to get back on here and talk to again. But what's cool is I'm going to meet so many of them at TFCon in October. Are you going to that?
I wish I could. I really do. It's actually blocked out where I work, so I couldn't get the time off.
Evolution of Chug. Well, hold on to that question, Lazy. We'll make that the first one when I'm done with him. And thank you for the super chat. All right, where were we? Oh, there are thousands of toy reviewers on YouTube. What makes you different from the rest?
Well, I think what makes me different is I don't really care about my amount of views or my number of subscribers. I'm just here to have fun. I put out something because I think it's neat and I enjoy making the videos. And if I can put out a video and somebody reacts to it, great. But I mean, sure, everybody enjoys having, a large number of subscribers, but that's not what I'm about. I'm just I'm here to enjoy the ride and start great conversations with people on items and topics that I enjoy.
And I'll tell you what, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, your viewers will pick it up.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
there's been some figures that I pick up and I buy, and after taking them out of the box and messing with them, I'm like, I hate this guy. He's no fun to mess around with. That was almost me with Rhinox, because I absolutely hated transforming that guy. But I'd already filmed the intro and everything, so I figured I got to go through it. But there's some figures that I bought that that's on the shelf now. I'm just like, I'm not even going to fool with reviewing that one.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff I haven't reviewed too. It's just it's what calls me that whatever particular day. So I don't need to be the first one to do a review. I'll do it when I feel like I'll enjoy it.
See, that's when I first started doing these, I was only doing G1 reviews because I was buying the new figures, but I thought nobody's going to watch me review new figures because everybody's doing that. And then somebody, I forget who it was, but this is the one that kind of got me going, said, we don't watch you for the toy. We watch you for you. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I think when I started doing regular newer figures was when the Siege line came out. I think Hound was actually my first official modern toy review.
Good choice.
So, yeah, Army in me. Okay, where are we now? Oh, you kind of touched on this a little bit. What's your thoughts on the Transformers social community, YouTube, Facebook, and do you have any special shout outs?
Well, definitely shout out to Deluxe, Kato, pretty much all the Rejecticons, Patriot Prime reviews. I mean, I've got video channels that I check every day. I'm proud to be members of. When the opportunity came, I hopped right on board. And essentially, the Rejecticons, Deluxe, you, and a few others are the reason why I started this. And the community that they've created has just been positive. Most of the places you go with communities like this is just toxic. But, I mean, I've met people here that I wouldn't even think about, like Trans Aaron. He mailed me a figure from the East Coast that I couldn't find here in Indiana. I never thought I would have somebody that would be willing to do that for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, me and a lot of the guys that I'm on, we got a group message. Hell, you know what I'm talking about. And if we're at Walmart or Target, especially the other guys, because I have no Target, I have one Podunk Walmart, and that's it. And they're in Target all the time, and every time they go in the toy aisle, pictures start getting snapped. Anybody need this? And when we do it for each other, cost plus shipping. So, and it works out great.
Yeah, and I mean, it gives me a chance to send out the figures that I've bought in the past, and I don't feel fit my collection. I can send them to a good home rather than just giving away to somebody I know is going to tear them up.
Right. Especially your little one. My son will come in here all the time and grab one of those G1s. Can I have this one? Yeah, when I'm dead. I don't trust you with it right now.
My 6-year-old's already starting. Hey, Daddy, when you die, can I have this? Yeah.
Well, the creepiest one was Dylan was in here. It was like last year, and he's obsessed with the Octo Punch. If you're familiar with that G1 Pretender, it's the octopus guy with the dive suit, and he loves that one. He's like, Daddy, can I have this one? And that's one of those expensive ones now. And I was like, no, but you can have all of these when I die. And he looked at me as sweet and innocent as he could and goes, well, when's that?
Yeah. It's amazing what comes out of their mouth, isn't it?
I'm like, oh, okay, I won't sleep tonight. All right, sir, I'm going to hit you with the last question, and then we're going to hit with the chat for a while. And then I may cut this out early because wife's need me to get the kid. Normally I try to go for an hour. I may do 40 minutes, something like that. So I don't feel like I'm rushing you. I didn't tell her I was going up here and doing this. All right, so question number 10, Memo, is do you have any channel goals for yourself, and where can our viewers find you? Plug your channel, and just to let everybody know who's watching this now or who may watch this later on, I have a link to Memo's channel in the description of this video. Click that link and sub to this guy.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at just searching Memo224. I'm on Instagram at Memo224 and also Memo224 on Facebook. So pretty easy to find, and yeah, it's a great community. That's what keeps me here.
That it is, and it's almost like our version of show and tell. It's like, oh, I just got this new figure. Let me show everybody.
Yeah, I mean, my goals for the channel.
There you go, brother.
Thanks, Fire Talks. I've always felt that me reaching 5,000 viewers, 5,000 subs, that wasn't something that was feasible. It's not why I do it. My goal is to just have a place where everybody can come watch a video, tell me their thoughts, and share what they like. I mean, great discussions like on what we see on Discord, and I've had some amazing comments on my channel just recently. People regularly like Raziel. He posts on every single one of the videos that I make. Kato stops by. I can tell he's there because he just leaves his emojis, but I know he was watching. It's reassuring to know that people do take the interest and watch my videos. And sub count, again, it's not important. My goal is to just have as many friends as I can that are able to provide me positive motivation. So if I have 500 subs, if I have 5,000 subs, it doesn't matter. I'm here to just entertain and be a part of the group.
And there you go. And right there, that shows. That's what brings people to your channel, when it shows that you're having fun. Like I said. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for my questions. If anybody in the chat has any for me or Memo, now's the time to hit us. I'm probably going to cut this off in about 5 minutes. The wife needs me. She wants to go to bed, and I've got to entertain the 7-year-old who's probably hopped up on Kool-Aid right now.
I saw a question about Chug earlier. How I feel about the evolution of Chug, was that right?
Yeah, evolution of, I think it was evolution.
What can I say about Chug? I think it's moving forward, definitely. I mean, Rhinox was a definite step back, but improvements, especially with bots like we're seeing in the Kingdom line and the 86 line. Hasbro has nowhere to go but forward. They can only make things better, and I think that they've been doing that year after year, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you just compare like Combiner Wars figures, like Combiner Wars Hound to Siege Hound, or the Mirage we had in Thrilling 30, and it's just wow. Especially I look at my shelves of Megatrons and how he's evolved. Though he's kind of hit a stalemate where he's the same freaking mold now for the last 8 figures. All right, what's this? Got a question for you, PPR. Not just Marvel G1 Transformers. Are there Marvel comics you regret reading? I never regret reading any comics. Love comics. I was all about comics in the 90s. They had so many. I never collected like the superhero comics. I went with the darker stuff. I was Punisher and Ghost Rider. I love 90s Ghost Rider and stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Hey, Memo and PPR, what is your advice for getting started doing TF reviews? Put a TF in front of the camera and hit record. There's not really much advice you could give because you never know if it's going to take off or not. I would recommend, one, have a clean surface, clean your hands. I can tell you how many people I've seen with just grubby fingernails, and that's all you want to watch is those nasty fingernails. Talk clearly, talk plainly, and have fun doing it. Those are my pointers. What you got?
The most difficult part is the first one. Once you do it, it's over with. Move on to the next one. It just gets easier, to be honest.
And you learn after each one.
You do. Too. And I mean, get yourself in a rhythm. Set up a certain way you like to do things, and stick to it. Stick to a curriculum or syllabus, whatever you want to call it, and just do it. Never hurts to try, and if you fail, then at least you tried.
That's right. So what do you say? Chug Hound versus Siege Hound?
I
like Siege.
Nothing's going to beat that G1 for me, to be honest. Not even the Masterpiece. Siege Hound is pretty good, but yeah, not as good as a G1.
Yeah, you can definitely tell some reviewers who don't collect. They don't appreciate the figures they've got. Here's one for Memo. What's your most prized figure?
My most prized figure? That's a good one. I'd probably have to say the Toynami Voltron that I picked up.
Thank you, Delmas.
That was a surprising one I didn't know that I wanted, but it's not a Transformer, but it's an amazing figure on its own, and it's in a line that I really enjoy.
I saw those, and I thought they looked really good, but I just didn't, because mainly I was just stuck solely to Transformers. I used to be Star Wars and everything else, and went solely to Transformers. Then the He-Man stuff started coming out. Well, actually, first was NECA. I freaking love the NECA figures. Okay, Elite says the first one he's going to do is the Perfect Effect Nemesis Prime. That's a good one. That's one not many people are doing. So it's really good to pick something different, something you're not seeing a lot of. Would Rhinox have been better if an Ace Ventura figure would have been included?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been fun to have a little guy crawling out of the butt wearing a Hawaiian tie-dye t-shirt.
Actually, I think he was naked in that scene.
Oh, he was naked in that scene.
I would have preferred to have actually chain guns that look like guns instead of pinwheels.
Right. It's just that figure is all around disappointing, to be honest.
That was one, when I was transforming it, I knew I'd screwed up the transformation. It was pissing me off. And I thought about going ahead and taking him back to robot mode and then trying it again. I thought, no, I need to show people how much of a pain in the ass this is to transform. And actually, not one person said anything bad about the transformation. They agreed. His transformation sucks.
Yeah. That's why I went from alt to bot mode on that one. I didn't feel like dealing with the panels.
There we go. I'd like to see a review of a bad figure every once in a while. It can be funny. It can. I mean, yeah.
Check out my review of X-Transbot's Lock if you want to see a bad figure.
All right. If I was ever going to transform that trash again, I was going to make good guns and have Spike coming out the back.
It surprises me that they released it like that. I mean, it's It's the legs are a mess.
Well, what gets me is the first wave of Kingdom. I mean, Black Arachnia, Cyclonus,
Amazing
Cheetor, Dino. They looked so much like what they're supposed to look like. And then wave 2, you got Huffer was amazing. Who else do we have?
Cyclonus.
Yeah, okay, Cyclone. I mean, they all look great. And you get Rhinox. Well, he doesn't look right. You get Dinobot, who looks great in robot mode. The dinosaur mode is just derpy as hell. And, oh, here's Deluxe. Deluxe, he bragged so much about you before you showed up.
Now he's here. I can't talk about him.
Nice. Yeah, you can't talk about him. Rodimus Primal's in the chat. I saw him earlier. Hello, Rodimus. iBeamer's in the house, late as usual, but you still made it. Fashionably late. I'm so mad. Speaking of iBeamer, I ordered some stuff from Big Bad Toy Store. It finally shipped, but I screwed up and had it sent to work. I'm off tomorrow, and that's when it's due to arrive. So I got to wait till Monday now. All right. Well, buddy, it has been 30 minutes. And like you said, I apologize. I usually try to keep these longer. My wife needs me. She's incapacitated due to some knee surgery. So I've got to go down and help her with the little one. So, Memo, we'll do this again. We'll get a group chat going on. We'll introduce you to some of the other fellas. I think you'll really like the weird-ass crew that I hang out with. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. And anything else you want to say before we cut out?
No, just thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. If you do want to, go ahead over and drop a sub. I'd really appreciate it. You won't regret it. We'll make it a fun time.
Now, we got 26 viewers right here. Head on over to Memo's channel. Link in the description of this video. Give him a sub. He goes over all kinds of different things, and I think you will really enjoy his stuff. So what we have right here, Patriot Prime Views, love you, prioritizing the fan. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. I love you guys, but I live with these guys. Take it easy, right? All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. And if you haven't, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new reviews. Now, I will be posting a quick video later on tonight. I'm doing a giveaway. So, guys, everybody take care. Have a great weekend. Memo, thank you once again for showing up. This is Patriot Prime signing out. Hooah! And I can't do that smooth transition Kato does.